Hey, what's up, guys? It's Sports Blitz here, and we're back with another NFL record prediction. Before I get into it, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Um, Guys, we are doing the Baltimore Ravens today. We're kind of doing the AFC North this week. Our last one that we did was the Browns. That was kind of under the assumption that Deshaun Watson will be suspended. So yeah, that one um didn't get a whole lot of views, but I feel like if it did, I'd have a lot of angry Browns fans. So might be a good thing it didn't get a lot of views. But anyways, this is the Ravens. Let's go ahead and get on into it. So first thing, I mean honestly, as long as Lamar Jackson is quarterback and they've got John Harbaugh as coach, they're gonna be able to win a pretty good amount of games. Okay, they're I don't anticipate them being a bottom of the league team. Okay, so just gonna put that out there. But I mean, running back wise, I mean, if J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards can stay healthy this year, that's huge. Then they've also got Mike Davis, who I'm actually a big fan of. I think he's actually going to get a good amount of snaps. And really Justice Hill. Like, they've got a good running back room. I really like it. Plus a quarterback that can run. That's dangerous. Wide receivers, though, not a big fan of. I'm hoping Rashad Bateman can take a big step forward this year and really become a true number one wide receiver. Um, I know it's only his second year, so we can't judge him too harshly, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the wide receiver room there, if I'm being completely honest. Tight end wise, I mean, Mark Andrews is almost definitely, it's almost a lock to be Lamar Jackson's number one weapon, number one target. Nick Boyle's pretty solid, and then, I mean, they did get Isaiah Likely too. I think he's gonna, you know, get a good amount of snaps as well. So I do like the tight end room. Don't know much about Charlie Kolar, but um, I mean, I think Isaiah Likely is going to be good. I mean, they've also got one of the best fullbacks in the league in Patrick Ricard. Offensive line, they got Ronnie Stanley, who's one of the best left tackles in the league. Tyree Phillips, don't know too much about him, so not going to mention too much there. But they got Tyler Linderbaum, who's my favorite, really interior offensive lineman in the draft. I really liked Zion Johnson too, but I think Linderbaum was slightly higher graded. So yeah, they have a really good center. I do like Kevin Zietler. I think that was a good pickup. And Morgan Moses. Morgan Moses really is not a bad tackle at all. And really, even if he struggles, they've got Daniel Falele, who I think, you know, I think he's got some good upside. He's gonna have a long way to go. Like, he needs to work on his footwork, and just be a little bit faster off the line of scrimmage. But if he can work on that, I think he can be a really good tackle. Um, so I like the offense. That wide receiver room is pretty bad in my opinion. Defensively, though, they've got Justin Matabuke or Bike. I never know how to pronounce that. Buke or Bike, something like that. Behind him, you got Derek Wolf. I mean, I think their reps are going to be probably 50-50, so I don't think there's really any number one D end right there. But then interior wise, they've got Michael Pierce. Um, I mean, that's gonna be good. I believe he was with the Ravens before he went to the Vikings, if I remember correctly. So that's it's gonna be good to have him back there. Then I mean, Calais Campbell is always great as well. So they've got a pretty dang good defensive line. So I like that. Linebackers, looking pretty good. I mean, Tyus Bowser's pretty solid. They do have Josh Bynes, who he was with the Bengals for a while, and then he was with the Panthers for just a hot minute. Uh, I don't know that he ever played any regular season games with them. I think it was just preseason, and then he got cut. But he is pretty solid with the Ravens. I mean, Patrick Queen is getting better each year. Odafe Owe had a really good rookie year, so they've got a good group of linebackers there. I like that group. Uh, Secondary though is where it gets really scary. They got obviously Marlon Humphrey and Marcus Peters, one of the best corner duos in the league. Marcus Williams, who's a really good safety. As a Panthers fan, I'm glad he's out of my division. I'm glad he's away from the Saints. Does suck that the Saints got Marcus May and Tyrann Mathieu, but I'm glad that Marcus Williams is gone. Then they drafted Kyle Hamilton. I mean, that's a pretty scary sounding secondary. So yeah, they've got a good roster. They've got a good coach. I mean, obviously the best kicker in the league in Justin Tucker. Um, so yeah, on paper, this is a good roster. So let's go ahead and get to the prediction. And these predictions are going to be under the assumption that there's no like super major injuries, okay? So let's go ahead and get on into it. So week 1, I mean, this is coming from someone that actually thinks the Jets are going to be pretty good this year. Not necessarily like playoff level, but I think they can win 7, 8 games. Maybe 9 if they overperform. But I don't see him beating the Ravens week 1. I'm going to take the Ravens there. And then I'm not super high on the Dolphins. I'll be honest. I'm not a believer in Tua. Uh, Offensive line goes, the Teron Armstead pickup was really good. I mean, they did get Tyreek Hill as well. But I'm not a big believer in Tua. I'm really not. I can't pretend to believe in him. And I think he's going to struggle against the Ravens secondary. I'm taking Ravens here. Wow, I just realized they play the entire AFC East in the first 4 weeks. That's kind of funny. I'm gonna go Ravens over the Patriots as well. Um, Not super high on the Patriots this year either. I think they're gonna be probably like an 8 or 9 win team. Um, I think them, Dolphins, and the Jets are gonna be kind of competing for that, number 2 spot in that division, and I think they'll all have between like 7 and 10 wins, but I think it's gonna be kind of more like 7 and 10, 8 and 9, and 9 and 8. I think it'll be really tight right there between those 3. But then the Bills, obviously the best team in that division, maybe the best team in the AFC. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Bills here. Bills have a really good team. For Bengals, I'm gonna have them split with the Ravens. I'm gonna have them each win at home. Where's the other Bengals game? There it is, Week 18. Yeah, I'm gonna have them each win at home. I think it's gonna be a good set of games. Then I do think that the Ravens will beat the Giants. I talked about this game in the Browns prediction. I'm having them split as well. Though, honestly, if they don't have Deshaun Watson, I could very well see the Ravens sweep the Browns. If I'm being honest. I really could. Um, in fact, and honestly, it's not sounding good for Deshaun Watson. Like, I'm kind of banking on him being suspended. But I don't know how long of a suspension it's going to be. I don't know if he's still going to be out week 15 when they play again. Sorry, guys, I'm looking down here. I'm kind of tempted to reverse that one. Oh, that one's tough. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to have the Ravens sweep the Browns. I think Deshaun Watson will still be suspended, and even if he's not, I think the Ravens secondary is way better than the Browns receivers, and I think they'll be able to slow down the run enough to pull off the win. So, yeah, there you go. Since we're on the topic of divisional games, I'm just gonna go ahead and go with the Steelers games here as well. I'm gonna be honest here. Ravens and Steelers games can always go either way. I mean, they're kind of one of the biggest examples of like, divisional games are unpredictable. Okay, like even if the Steelers end up like a 3-14 team, which I'm not saying they are, but even if they end up terrible and the Ravens are like a 14-3 team, they always play each other tough. Like the games the games are interesting, okay? So I'm going to have them split, okay? I'm more confident in the Ravens and Steelers splitting than the Ravens and Browns splitting, to be completely honest. So I'm going to have them each win in their own stadium. So gives the Ravens a 4-2 divisional record. I think that's pretty reasonable. Then for week 8, I'm going to have the Bucks take that one. I think the Bucks are still a really, really good team. Week 9, I think I'm going to go ahead and give this one to the Saints. They also have a good secondary. And the Saints defense is getting quite a bit older. And I don't think it's necessarily going to be quite as good as everybody says it is. But the secondary is kind of the strong point of that team. And I think the Ravens are going to have to completely rely on running the football there. And I just don't think it's going to be quite enough. I really don't. But I could see that one going either way. It is prime time, so who knows? Maybe the Ravens win it. But yeah, then I do think after the bye, I think they'll beat the Panthers. I think they'll beat the Jags. Then I think they beat the Broncos. So overall, right now they've got one more game. Then I think they beat the Falcons. 12-5. Do I really think they're going 12-5? Maybe. They could. Because I think it's going to be close there between the Ravens and Bengals for competing for that number 1 spot. Man, 12-5. I mean, there are other games in here that could definitely make it go either way. I mean, again, if Deshaun isn't suspended, the Browns could definitely win one of those. In fact, who knows? Maybe the Browns do pull off one of them. Broncos may be better than I'm giving them credit for, so, they could win that. Who knows? Maybe the Jets are even better than I expect. Even Patriots. But I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and stick with this 12-5 record. I think that's pretty reasonable. On paper, I probably would have said more like a 10 or 11 win team, but looking at this, I think they win 12 games. I really do. So, Ravens fans, let me know what you thought of this prediction in the comments section below. Again, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Later.